This video is a tutorial on how to do gang sheets for DTF printing. A gang sheet is a single file that holds multiple different art files so that they can all be printed on one sheet for a DTF printer. The most vital piece of information to keep in mind is that our DTF roll can accommodate 22 inches wide as a print area. The roll is actually 24 inches wide, but you need to have access on either side. I have here a list of different jobs that people want for us to print for them, so I'm going to pull these up one at a time. I click my open. I go to the USB drive E because I don't know where this stuff will be, and I click in the search bar, Cersei Animal. We did these not long ago. There's already a gang sheet put together. In this case, she only wants one shirt. She wants it hot pink, so I guess I'll use the lighter green color, and we will copy and paste that into our window. She also wants the left chest, so I'll copy and paste that into our window as well. I'm now going to save this in General 26. The only art that we don't have already is the Kennedy Rush, so I'm going to save it under that. Rush. Okay. Now I'm going to pull up my next one, St. James. We've already done this as DTF. It looks like last time. Hello, Jaden. Looks like last time we did it this size, so I'll copy that and paste it here. That's our back design. And here's our front design. Just like we did it in black and gold. Copy and paste. All right, next is the enjoyable passionate. Enjoyable passion. Okay. He has not yet reviewed this, but it is incredibly small. It's not going to take up much space on our things. I'm just going to print it anyways. Oops. But we don't have that font anymore. So I'm not going to import it until I convert it to curves. Control Q. That way it doesn't change me to some funky donkey new font. I'll just keep me on my original font. Okay. Next is Kennedy Rush. He has sent me stuff, so I'll pull that up and download his files. Word really. They'll all be ready to use. They're totally not ready to use, but it shouldn't take much work. Okay, yeah, that shouldn't be. First, to prepare these for printing, I'm going to crop it down because I don't want the computer to have to work on a really large file. In fact, I'm going to crop it down all the way until only including my actual design. So I'll put that in just a tiny bit. And I'll pull this one down exactly even. Okay. I come up here, trace bitmap, outline trace, clip art. Let it do its work. Blah, 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 blah. Did a pretty good job. I can argue with that. Okay, next will be Rush Culverts. It's already a manageable size. We'll trace that. That one did not do so well. It's very choppy. By the grace of God, we already have Rush Culverts, though. That already worked on it, so we will just take Culvert. And we'll grab that art that we used last time. Copy, paste that to our window. All right, so we have rush excavating, we have rush culverts. Now this is going to be a challenge, as I hope you can see.
White.
There's not a lot of contrast. It's going to run into all of those squares. We're going to go ahead and trace it anyways, though, and just see what we come up with. Bump up our detail higher. Okay. All we got was that. Okay. That's okay, because in this case, it appears to be the same as this other job, except that the colors are different. So this one's all black, this one is white and red. So let's just ungroup that. We'll grab Kennedy, excavating, 2 chunks of U, change them to a nice red color. You'll see that there were several areas in the design that were the background color, and so I'm going to go through and delete out all of those quickly. Now, this is critical when you're working on a reasonably involved art project. You need to save it periodically. It does not automatically save. You'll lose all your progress. You're very frustrated when that happens. Okay. Now, you noticed that several of the areas were filled, so I'm going to address that in the topic image as well. I can do that by selecting the shape that I wish to get. As long as I don't get the whole image of the larger pieces, it will only grab whatever's totally encapsulated by my lasso. Okay, so I've got black version. Got a red and white version. Group that together. And I've got a blue and white version. Group that together. Very good.
Is there still an outline on the red and white right there?
Right there. Yep, good. I press Control to grab only one element out of a grouped image. I only wanted the C, I can click Control. Now that's a group within a group, so I do it again, and now I've just got the C. Control click will isolate the map. Okay, so I've got Kennedy Rush. All right, we're printing on these baby t-shirts. He doesn't want it very big. I'm going to do it 2 3/4 of an inch, each of these. So I select it, 2.75. And I'm going to duplicate it because there's always a chance one of them's messed up and you might as well give yourself another try. Things like this. So okay, we'll duplicate that. We'll duplicate that. Now we've got them all duplicated. All right, enjoyable, passionate. How many of these do we need? Go to the job. He's got 8 of them. We'll do 10 just to make sure. So, Control, click, drag to this, or I'm sorry, click, Control, drag to the side, right click, duplicate. Now you can duplicate a duplicate by pressing Control D. How many times you need to?
Pardon?
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's plenty. All right. Now, search the animal clinic. She's only getting 1. It's a youth, so I'm going to shrivel it down a little bit. Shrivel that down a little bit. I'll put those together. Now I'm going to start building my gang sheet. It needs to be no more than 22 inches wide. You can see that's only 16, so I can put in Rush next to that. No problem. Now we're up to 20 inches. That's plenty. We don't need to go to 22. Just can't be more than 22. All right. So I'm going to duplicate these as well, just in case we have an issue with it. I don't want to have to reprint it. So we've got duplicates of that rush. We've got duplicates of this rush. come in with St. James. There are 2 shirts in this job. So I'll go ahead and do a second. Now I will rotate things around so as to conserve space where possible. So we'll do. All right, now here's the deal. Our DTF has a little bit of a tendency to print golds as greens. So I'm going to go in here and manually change the green on this to a lower value. I double click here, I come into the G, green, I dropped it down to 75. Ooh, don't want to do that much. So let's try dropping it down to 130. You know what? I'm just going to change it to that color right there. That way I don't have to guess so much. I'm going to come up, window, I'm going to come here, Dockers, and it's going to be properties. And that adds a properties docker on the right hand side. I go to fill, I grab my dropper, and I select that color. Okay. Now there are 2 shirts. I'll just do an extra one of these just in case. And as long as we're at it, let's just do 1 more. This is fine. I'm going to rotate it around this way. Just put it underneath everything. Okay, now, the last thing that we're going to do before we send this to the other printer is I'm going to create a sheet for myself, a background. I'm going to select a color that is not used anywhere in the design. Royal blue, well, except for that, so maybe not that. Maybe orange would be a good color. Okay, I'm going to make my sheet 22 inches wide. 2. I'm going to say Control-N to put it to the back of the page. And now I'm going to do 2 things. One is I'm going to make sure that my whole gang sheet is going to fit, which it does, no problem. And I'm going to check and make sure that there are no elements in my design that I don't want printed. Now this is supposed to be a 2-color print, not a 3-color. So I need to adjust Enjoyable Passionate so that it prints as only a 2-color. Now in this case, it's printing on that's going to be difficult to remove. There is a way though, so I guess I'll just show you how to do that. Okay. You have 2 hearts, each of them has an outline. Red fill, white outline. What we're going to do is we're going to go Object. We're going to say Convert Outline to Object. And we've got that. This. Okay, no problem. So now what we're going to do is we're going to recreate this design from scratch. I'm going to come to this bottom tool. I'm going to say, grab the drop down, say Smart Fill. I'm going to fill that one, fill this one, fill that one, fill this one, fill. That one doesn't want to be filled. That one, there we go. Fill this one. So, now all of this, I'm not going to have an outline on it. And I'm going to come in here and rebuild my design. So I get 2 reds, the outlines, I don't, just doing on here. Oh, okay, so that would be outline. The outline, you'll remember, I didn't need. So I don't want to have a white outline. Let's see. Black. Let's see that blue. I don't need. Is that outline on this? Let's see. Oh, and I missed one thing. I forgot to create a new object here. So I'll go back to my Smart Fill. Click there, there. Okay. Now those should do my two blacks, remove my outlines on those, then I'll delete out that, I'll delete out this, I'll delete out, no. That's a good list. Ah, you see that? Made some kind of a weird outline. This is part of the trouble with doing DTF. You have to find a way to remove the excess stuff in the back or make it so it won't appear. Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth. So I'm just going to go back to the beginning. Here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to change these to Pantone colors. I know that my hoodie is gray, so I'm going to take all of the white in the image, I'm going to turn it gray. And that way it will not appear very strongly at all on my final image. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Drag to the side, right click, release, D, Control D, that is, and that gives me enough. Okay, do I have any other issues like that in my design? Answer, not that I can see. So you can see I have quite a bit of wasted space here, which I don't like. So I'm going to quickly reformat my design, my plan here. Maybe I'll get rid of some of this brush here, put it down there for now. I'll bump that one up higher so it fits in there. I'll put this one over here. Take St. James right there. Brush over here. I wonder, can I get this to fit in? Yes, I can. Just fits in. Oh, not there though. Okay, I'll take those and bump them up a little bit. And then I take my last few designs, and voila, I've got a gang sheet. It all fits within my parameters, 22 by 20, or by any length, doesn't matter. So now I'm going to grab everything except for the orange box. I'm going to export it. This button up here as a PNG. Doesn't matter what it's called. It doesn't hurt to have DTF somewhere in the title though. And I'm going to export that as a PNG. It usually takes a minute to do, so I'm going to come over here and start composing my email to custom@blitz apparel.co. I'm going to say DTF. I'm going to say OK over here. It's got my correct thing. I'm going to now attach that file, usually clicking home, and then it will be the top one. Open. And it takes a minute to upload. I'll save it one more time, and then we're ready to go. Send.
Perfect.